Welcome to Ethelo. In this example, we'll use Ethelo to host a park design process where a neighborhood comes together to design a community park. We start at the Create a Project page, which lists all the different templates that are available. We can search for a template or apply a filter to find templates for public consultation processes. From the public templates, we'll choose Park Design Template. We start by customizing basic project info, such as the title, the URL, and the introduction. This template already has some example text filled in. The Topic and Options page is where we customize the substantive content of the project. Here, all the proposed options for the park are organized into 3 different categories or topics. We can add new topics and options and edit them. We can also set the cost of different options and edit the descriptions. We can specify if any options are incompatible with each other by adjusting the constraints, or move the options up and down. On the Constraints page, we can set the minimum and maximum amount of space the park features should take up, and the minimum and maximum amount of money that will get spent on this project overall. Let's set the minimum cost to 0. On the Participants page, we can add new people to the project, either directly, by adding their name and email, or by uploading a list. The last step is to launch the project. Here, we can set the start date and adjust it, and set the end date. We can decide whether to send invites on launch, and we can edit the invitation email. And finally, we can launch the project. This is the first page of the participant interface, and what all the people who were invited will see. We'll go through the process as a participant and show how Ethelo can assist the community in designing a park in the most equitable and broadly supported way. On the left-hand side, we see the different topics where the various options are organized. In the middle, we can read an overview of the project, and on the right, we have some instructions on how to participate. We advance through the process by clicking Next. The first topic is Trees and Gardens. Here, we can see the various options under this topic. For example, the first proposal is a native plant garden, which will cost $10,000 and occupy about 10,000 square feet. We can read the background description and vote on the proposal on a scale from totally oppose to totally support. We can comment on the proposal and read other people's comments. We can like the comments and reply to them. We can vote and comment on each of the proposals under this topic. At the bottom of the page, there is an area for people to propose other options for the park. People can read each other's suggestions, comment on them, and like them. If one of the proposals is a good one, the administrator can approve it, and it will become one of the options that the other participants can vote on. The next topic here is Children's Recreation. Just as before, participants can vote on the various options, discuss them, and add suggestions at the bottom. In the right-hand side, you can see the Top Choice panel. Here, proposals that the participant supports will begin to appear. The Ethelo algorithm will ensure that the total cost of the proposals in this panel will never exceed the $75,000 budget and the 100,000 square foot area. This means that the participant will need to make trade-offs, which will occur when we get to the Weigh Priorities page. Participants go through the topics, voting on the different proposals and discussing them. As you can see, I'm giving a positive score to all the proposals. It won't be possible to fund all of these proposals, so I'm going to have to make trade-offs. On the Weigh Priorities page, the participant can adjust the relative importance of the different topics to fine-tune their top choice. You can see that before making any adjustments, the total cost and size of my top choice for the park design is under the $75,000 budget and the 100,000 square foot size limit. Now, if I adjust the weighting, for example, giving trees and garden a high priority, children's recreation a low priority, and general activities a moderately high priority, I will get a completely different selection of proposals in my top choice panel. No matter how I weight things, however, the Ethelo algorithm will always make sure that my total is under the cost and size limits for the park. In this way, every participant plays the role of decision maker, making trade-offs to ensure that their decision is practical. Then, participants can see the collective results. On the collective results page, Ethelo has analyzed every possible design of a park that is less than $75,000 and 100,000 square feet. In this case, there were 582 potential park design scenarios. All the scenarios are presented in ranked order, from the most strongly supported to the least supported. In doing this analysis, the Ethelo algorithm takes into account group dynamics and the importance of fair outcomes. Ethelo looks at the support distribution for each scenario. It gives polarizing outcomes, like that on the left, a low score, and gives a high score to outcomes like that on the right, where people are similar in their levels of satisfaction. Here, Ethelo has identified an optimal park design that has a high level of support from all the participants. It identifies specific features that should be funded under this plan, and we can see that the total cost doesn't exceed the $75,000 budget limit, and the total size doesn't exceed the 100,000 square foot size limit. In this way, Ethelo provides communities with a simple new approach to collaborating in the design of parks.